All right, so let's talk about Gladiator Stance. So in my last raid, I played Duel Fury, and my main stance that I used was Gladiator Stance, and then I would swap into Berserker Stance, and then back into Gladiator Stance to maintain my T1 6-piece set. Now, if you look at the tooltip for a Gladiator Stance, it says an aggressive stance that increases the damage while you are wearing a shield by 10% and increases the block chance by 10%, but reducing your armor by 30% and threat generated by 30%. In addition, you gain 50% increased rage when your auto attacks damage an enemy not targeting you. While wearing a shield in Gladiator Stance, you may use all abilities that are restricted to other stances. Now, you would think that this tooltip is indicating that if you don't have a shield on, then you don't gain access to all these buffs. That is not the case. So I was doing some testing here on the target dummy, and the 50% extra rage generation is definitely working with two-handed auto attacks. I'm assuming it's working with Duel as well. So if you see here, I'm gonna auto attack. I hit for 30 rage in Gladiator Stance. So I'm gonna just dump my rage really quick with a shout. I'm just going to show you a few auto attacks here, and we'll compare Gladiator to Battle Stance in real time. So I'm going to go back, do another auto attack, hit for another 30. We're just going to shut our rage away. Go back to the target dummy, hit it again. 71 crit. Shut my rage away. Now I'm going to go into Battle Stance, and I'm going to show you the same thing. So now we're in Battle Stance. I'm going to go up. I'm going to auto attack. 25 rage. So we were hitting from 30s. Now we're hitting 25s. So now wait for this little bit of rage to go away. Auto attack again. 23. Show my rage away. Wait a bit. That time. I'm gonna click off Crusader just in case it gives me I can't click off Crusader actually. Wow, that's kind of weird. Huh? Can't click off the Crusader buff. Interesting. Auto attack again. We got a 48 crit that time, so it wasn't a 67 or 68 that we got when we were in Gladiator Stance. So if you were to do the math on this, it is exactly 50% increase. I've already done the testing, but for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna do it real time so you guys can see it. So 22 on that auto attack. So this is Battle Stance, by the way, just for a reminder. So as you can see, it's significantly less rage, noticeably less rage. Now we're gonna go back to Gladiator Stance and just do one, just to show it again. 65 on a crit. So my auto attack and Battle Stance on a crit was only like 40 something, and this one was 65. So you can tell right away that Gladiator Stance is giving me that 50% bonus. 36 on the auto, non-crit. So as you can see, it is definitely affecting that tooltip that says 50% increase. It's definitely affecting auto attacks, regardless if you have a shield or not. And if that being said, then the 30% threat regeneration, the 30% threat generation is also is also affecting Duel and two-hander as well. But you're not gaining the 10% damage bonus, because if you were, it would be extremely noticeable in raid, and it definitely wasn't noticeable when I was playing. So, but and then for the your attacks now. When you stance swap, you gain access to Echoes of Gladiator Stance. Now, this is because of the T1 6-piece set. Now, this allows you to basically use all of Warrior's abilities in Gladiator Stance, and I have proof of this in my logs. So, as you can see here, I threw 22 Overpowers, and if you go and you look at my buffs, you scroll down to Seals and Forms. Where is it? Right here. stances, forms, and seals, I only used Gladiator Stance and Berserker Stance. I did not use Battle Stance. There is no echo of Battle Stance here. It's just echoes of Berserk and echoes of Gladiator. So this buff allows you to use Overpower in Gladiator Stance. So that's also pretty cool. Now, if you want to use this, if you want to use Gladiator Stance with my 1-button macro, you're going to have to change a few things. Don't worry, you can go down into the description and you can copy and paste this, but for the sake of the video, I'm just going to show you what you're going to have to change. So on the second line here in the macro command for Fury 1, you're going to have to change the non-stance 3 to non-stance 4, and then you're going to have to change the Berserker Stance to Gladiator Stance. Now you're going to have to do this with every single 1-button macro that I use, every single action bar swapping macro, and you're gonna have to do that the same changes as well to Cleave. And if you use my 1-button 2-hander Fury, you're gonna have to do the same thing there. It's the second line. You're gonna have to change no stance 4 to, or sorry, no stance 3 to no stance 4, and then you're also gonna have to change the damage opener cast sequence. You're gonna have to change it to Berserker Stance Gladiator Stance instead of Battle Stance Berserker Stance, and you're gonna have to do the same thing for the Cleave variant of that same macro. And then on top of that, you're gonna have to change your stance swapping macro to Berserker Stance instead of Battle Stance. Now I use Overpower as my stance swapping macro, so as you can see here, when I'm attacking the target dummy, it shows the Overpower symbol. So I press my Overpower macro, and bada boom, I'm in Berserker Stance and back into Gladiator Stance. So that being said, I do have a Ash Candy. Now I will be playing Two-Handed Fury in my next raid, and I will be using Gladiator Stance in my next raid as well. So I'm going to be testing out to see if I can get any high ranks with Two-Handed Fury. It's awesome that I got this. I've been like super excited to play Two-Handed Fury this whole phase. It's such a nice change from Duel Wield, and I also got my hands on a Victory Talisman, which is pretty sick too. So that's it. That's all for this video. If this video was helpful in any way, please leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment, or feel free to contact me in game, and I'll be more than happy to answer. But that's it. That's all. Bye bye.